How's it going, everybody? John here. It's been a while since I did a video. It's been a hectic year. I'm sure a lot of people can relate to that, so it's been hard for me to do videos as often as I would like. Today's video is going to be for people that have a family member who has ME or CFS or newly diagnosed. There's a big influx of people with ME and CFS in recent months, and I've seen a lot of people joining forums and support groups. And I thought it'd be good to make a video for those family members who just want to understand ME a little bit more so they could help their loved ones or a friend or a coworker. So number one, in no particular order, is start by listening, then listening some more, and then after that, listen more. Listen to the person who's sick. They're going through a very difficult time. They're trying to figure it out, especially if they're newly diagnosed. But even a year or two into it, you're still trying to figure it out. You're mourning the loss of who you were, the loss of things you used to be able to do, the activities, the things you used to enjoy, hobbies, everything. And people who are sick often, I've noticed, especially with this illness, have a hard time expressing how they feel about it. They're just going through so much, adapting so quickly, that sometimes for a friend or a family member just to listen and just to have that patience to listen and understand really goes a long way. It might sound silly, it might not sound like a important skill set, but listening to people that are suffering is actually really, really important. Being heard is important to someone who's sick and going through a chronic illness. So I think that applies to really any chronic illness, but I do know people with ME and CFS especially, having a family member who truly listens is a really big asset. Number two, learn about the illness, learn about the symptoms, learn about what flares are, learn about post-exertional malaise. There's a lot of symptoms out there, but flares and post-exertional malaise are very unique to ME and CFS, especially post-exertional malaise. Learn about those things, because when you learn about post-exertional malaise, and I have a video, I'll link it. Learning about post-exertional malaise will allow you to really understand what ME and CFS is about, because you'll understand how someone could be good 1 minute, being active, and then not being able to do things for a very long, extended period of time after that. That's why learning to understand flares and post-exertional malaise, or PEM, will be the key to understanding this illness. I do often find that when I talk to people in support groups, they're often at odds with family members or friends, because family comes over, the person with ME seems okay, and then the next day they're completely different, and they're letting other people down, not being able to do certain activities or accomplish certain things or go certain places. And those people get mad at the people with ME and CFS, and that really causes a lot of strain. So if you have someone that you love, care about, work with, that has ME, that is something very important to understand, and they will really appreciate you for understanding that, trust me. It's similar. It's understand that most people with ME are invisibly disabled. And what I mean by that is that you can't see the disability. Some people are bedridden. Actually, a very large portion are bedridden, and you can see they have ME. But a lot of people are not. A lot of people look fine, and that's a compliment. People like to hear that, but at the same time, they are very sick and they might look fine. So the next one is to understand that looks don't tell the story of ME and CFS all the time. And often, a lot of people with ME and CFS get treated poorly by their family members or friends, because they're like, you look fine, just rest, get on with it, man up, don't be so emotional, different things that people hear. There's certain things men hear often and certain things that women hear often. I think women kind of get a lot of flack for being emotional about it, all these things, but you don't know what they're going through. You don't know what they're feeling. You don't know the pain they're in. You don't know how bad the symptoms, the neurological symptoms are, the brain fog. There's a lot going on. So try to understand that you might see them, they might look fine, they might look healthy, but they're going through a lot, and try to keep that in the back of your mind. It's hard. It's hard if you have a family member with ME and they look very healthy. It's something that can be tricky. So that's something you could really work on to really improve a relationship with someone with ME, is understand that they're most likely always not feeling well. Don't push people with ME and CFS to do things when they say they physically can't. A lot of times the biggest battle with ME and family members is no one wants to let their family down, or their friends or their family. So people with ME will push themselves to please the people around them, or to help the people around them, or to give people around them what they need at their own expense. If their body's telling them no, they really shouldn't push themselves. It makes it much, much worse. You can actually crash further into a flare and make the symptoms even worse. And this is not from a lack of motivation. This is not from laziness. This is not what this illness is about at all. Those old assumptions from the 90s, they've been proven wrong now. It's time to move on from those assumptions here. Never insinuate or blame their mental state. Now, is there exceptions to this? Yes, there are some people that have been diagnosed with depression. Depression is real. Severe anxiety is real. There are people that lack motivation. There are those people in every aspect of life. But most often, that is not the case with people with ME and CFS. And when you undermine an illness that has taken everything from someone, it's very hard for someone to deal with that. It's going to strain your relationship. So humans, for some reason, we always have a way to demean things we don't understand, or can't see, or can't touch. And I think that that's been a very harmful component of ME and CFS, is to tell people that what they're experiencing is not real, that it's a creation of their imagination. For people that are suffering tremendously, they don't need that. Someone, obviously, unless you think that their mental state is harmful to themselves, or in a situation where they need to talk to a professional, seek medical attention, please. If you think that their mental state is not well, I encourage that. But if you insinuate that the illness is made up or being used to get out of certain situations and whatnot, most often people aren't using a severe illness to avoid doing certain things well. So really, if you sum up everything that I said, these 5 basic things, is show a little empathy, show a little care, try to understand, listen, don't push people, just be kind. And I would normally say, that's very simple. Just be kind and compassionate and listen. But today, in these days, it seems to be a rare commodity. It's hard to come across people that are being kind to others these days. So try to be different and try to be kind to. I hope that these videos can help you. I hope everyone's doing well. Until next time, take care.